Friends, how are you doing? It's Friday. We did it. We made it to the market. We made it a week in the market. Let's talk about good day. It's a good day in the market. Really good day. Let's talk about it. So obviously, a pretty good week. We ended on a high here. Obviously, starting out the week, it was devastation. Just more tariff crap, all that kind of stuff. And now we ended the week. Eggs are going back down. Inflation report good, and we ended pretty strong here. I mean, I think we're all happy at the end of the day here. This could have been a lot worse. The inflation report could have came out and it could have just wrecked the market even more. But we're not seeing that right now. So everything is moving along right now. Now, I don't think this means that the market's we're gonna be at crazy numbers next week or anything. But I think right now the market's kind of stable. It's okay. So we'll see what happens. It doesn't mean we're out of the fog by any means, but we're definitely in a really good position that I don't think a lot of us saw coming. I think a lot of us thought that I particularly thought that inflation report was going to be not good. But luckily, thank God, it pulled through here. So talking about SoFi real fast, I just talked about SoFi yesterday. Obviously, I'm drinking the juice heavy on SoFi. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say anything bad about SoFi because I do love it so much. But I do want to address obviously SoFi back up in a $12 range here. And then yesterday, that news broke with SoFi where the $5 billion agreement with the Blue Oral Capital Funds, huge deal. And obviously that company has over 250 million in assets. So this is another big deal. Back in September, I think it was, maybe October, SoFi got that other big deal, $1 billion big deal, then the credit card deal before that. Then we had the big quarterlies with SoFi. So this is all just more confirmation that we're 2025 here is going to be getting into some big quarterlies here with SoFi. And something's going to happen here. I 100% believe with SoFi. I think people right now are still sleeping on SoFi. I believe that SoFi not showing as strong numbers as it should be. I still think it's undervalued for what's coming in the general future. People are gonna end up in a situation where they're not buying it right now, where they're not building a position in it, and they're just going I'll come back to SoFi. That could be a huge mistake right now, because the thing is that, we don't know where this market's going. The market could there's no rules. The market just could start to slowly come back here. Who knows? Second of all, SoFi will be releasing these quarterly, their Q1s for 2025 here, very soon, sooner than we think here in May. That's not too far away. And we expect those to be pretty good. There's a lot of proof that those are probably going to be another huge face melting quarterly. And then on top of that, we could be in a situation where the Feds come out and say, hey, we're going to do rate cuts. So it would just be this huge action where let's pull the trigger, boom, where just all this stuff start happening for SoFi, and the trigger to the bomb would just be, it would just be pulled. And, SoFi it would blow up. It would blow up. So this is a situation where, $12 is very cheap right now for SoFi compared to what could be coming here just in, 55 days, let's say. Maybe sooner than that. Who knows? We'll see where this market's going. It's hard to say because we don't know where the market's going right now. But, I think, I don't want to tell you to buy SoFi. I don't. But I do want to tell you that I went to sleep on SoFi for too long. This is going to be, I think short term, obviously, SoFi is going to take its time building up into some high position here, especially with this market being unstable at this moment. But there will come a time later in the future where people will either be very thankful that they made a hefty position in SoFi, or they'll have huge regrets that they didn't, because SoFi is going to have a bright future. It's very obvious. SoFi is dominating the new banks right now, the sector of new banks. There's advertisements everywhere. They're just snatching up the younger generation, and they're everywhere. This company is literally everywhere right now, and there's proof in the pudding of that. So SoFi this year will undoubtedly be coming out with $1 billion quarterlies, and that's going to be the big game changer right there. So this is your warning. This is your warning, 100%, friends. And then Palantir, I know I'm talking about Palantir again. I'm drinking the juice on Palantir. I know. But Palantir today came out with this news. If you're wondering why Palantir stock jumped almost back to $90 today, good God. If you're swing trading Palantir right now, you are making some crazy money. Palantir came out with that news today where they their AIP Con 6 expanding partnership. So here's all the shenanigans going on with this deal, but essentially the partnership has been expanded here, and this is more money in the pockets here. So it's just more good news. It's just more good news. Alex Karp gave that hefty interview yesterday, and Alex. This is the thing, when Alex talks, if you watch, that's why I've said this forever now. When Alex Karp gives interviews, and he gives more interviews than I think than any CEO. I think he gives more interviews than Elon Musk about Tesla at this point. But when Alex talks, he will give tidbits of breadcrumbs. He will give little things of information about what's going on in the inner skeleton of Palantir, the company, what's going on. And he's been saying this, we had no ceiling, we have no competition, customers are coming to us. I mean, that was in his latest interview where he was like, we're not going to people are coming to us. We are super busy right now. We went right into out of that house. We're not with a mom and pop customer bases. We are with like huge companies right now, and they are coming to us. They're finding us, and we're making all the money. So undoubtedly, I think Palantir, it's with all this downfall we've seen in the market, Palantir held its ground here at this, low $80, high $70 range, and that's pretty telling that, Palantir, that's the wall right there. That we found the bottom right now with Palantir. So anything less than that, it's obviously going to be complete devastation in the market. And Palantir, more than likely, and Palantir hasn't stopped getting deals. They've been getting deals still. So more than likely, they're going to execute that 30, 35, 40, 45%, percent on top of their last earnings to prove that they're just still growing. And that's why you're paying so much money for a share right now with Palantir, because it's the expectation of what is coming in the future. So this is why Palantir just continues to have such massive fluctuation and manipulation with the stock that people are afraid not to buy it. They're not listen, we know people are going to pay $90 for Palantir. We know they're going to pay $100. We know they're going to pay $115. We know they're going to pay $120, and we know they're going to pay almost $130 because they were doing it 4 weeks ago. So there's no reason that Palantir will not start to slowly chisel away at those numbers again. It's already doing it. The question is, what's going to happen with the next level of these tariffs, with the world, with the stuff going on in Ukraine, all that kind of stuff. Where that's what the market's looking at right now. Investors are locked and loaded and ready to go 100%. I believe that 100%. I mean, look how fast we had this little bit of comeback in the market here just this week. I mean, from Monday to now, I mean, it's pretty telling that, obviously we're not back to where we were, at the beginning of, in the middle of February, but we're still in some very, very decent ground here. In the fact that we haven't sold off more, it's telling that the market's just, back in July of 2024, back in July of 2024, we had a huge crash in the August, and then slowly the market started pulling back up again. So this isn't anything that we haven't dealt with or seen before. So just be careful with the background noise, friends. Be careful with the background noise. I literally know of people right now, they're not buying in the market, or they've sold out of the market just because they're so scared, and they're getting their minds so wrapped up in politics and all this stuff. It's like, dude, set that stuff aside. Focus on good companies. Focus on the stock market. Focus on what is. We know the market's going to continue to do well. Even if there's more of a pullback, I still want to be a part of this market. I'm going to buy myself out of positions even if they're good companies. I'm going to continue to buy more of it. So, it's insane not to be a part of this market right now. It's insane not to be. And just to recap Big Bear, I mean, this is Big Bear. Big Bear's impressing me. I got to be honest. Big Bear, through all this turmoil that we've seen in the market, obviously, Big Bear had a really good 4 weeks ago, had a huge climb, a lot of news, the deals, new CEO, Kevin, getting in the zeitgeist. Everyone's talking about it, being compared to Palantir. And there are similarities, very much so. If you were there 2 years ago with Palantir, you're probably going, yeah, I definitely agree. I'm seeing some definite, similarities. So with that, obviously Big Bear's still a very youthful, young stock right now, old company, but new to the market and looking for a place in, people's pockets and in people's trust. Now with that, Big Bear here has fallen back down to where it was, say, 5 weeks ago, back to this 350 range, and looking more than likely going to find a $4 range again, as long as the market continues to just stay steady at this point. We're not looking for a huge climb, we're just looking for steadiness in the market, trust in the market. But with that too, Big Bear just got another contract this week too. That happened. Big Bear got another contract. So friends, I truly believe in my heart of hearts, and let me say this, if you're new to me yapping about Big Bear, I'm in Big Bear, but I do want to say that Big Bear, I still feel this way, that Big Bear is a wild card at this point with this year. And why I say that is because Big Bear has some problems that it needs to address this year, and it already started. It started that, but one is that it has a lot of debt it needs to start paying off. Two, good and bad, they have a new CEO, Kevin. We're going to see what Kevin does with the company. Obviously, the main thing, Kevin, if you're listening, Kevin, we need you to talk. I think it's so positive. It's so good when these CEOs come out and give video interviews, not like paragraphs, phone calls, crap like that. We need face. Investors, the main thing investors like is trust with a company, okay? If I'm putting thousands of dollars into a company, I would like to know who's running it. That's one reason Palantir does so well, because Alex Karp comes out all the time. He's like, hey, we're doing this, we're doing that, we're going here, this is happening over here. By the way, that makes investors feel very comfortable. 100% it does. So, and SoFi does that too. We see that with SoFi. But Big Bear needs a face right now. It needs confirmation too. And third, fourth, wherever we're at with that, A, B, C, D, Big Bear, it needs one big contract would change everything right here. So Big Bear is not shy to getting these like 165, almost $200 million contracts spread over 3 to 5 years. We've had that, and that's done good, and I truly believe that that's going to bleed into 2025 here, compounding into Q1, Q2, Q3 here, and that's what we're looking for more than not. That's the good news coming later in the year here with Big Bear. But the main thing that is the wild card with Big Bear here is that, well, it keeps getting these government contracts. Okay, so that is something of a similarity to what we saw with Palantir just, two and a half years ago at this point. Okay. So with that, I like to put myself in a place and live in this world where I go, okay, it's a risky play, 100%. There's no guarantee that more can happen is going to happen here with Big Bear. But two, being in at this low position with Big Bear, there is a thought in my head right now that Big Bear could just do something that would change the trajectory of where Big Bear is right now, price-wise, quarterlies, money, debt, everything. What if Big Bear were to just come out Monday morning and say, hey, we just got a government contract for $400 million over 2.5 years? Okay, that's a lot of money. That's fast money. That's going to change everything this year. So what would that do? Well, it would send Big Bear into a new atmosphere. People would be going freaking crazy because, let's be honest, $3.50 a share, Big Bear would easily double that money. So it would tell us what? It would tell us the quarterlies would go up dramatically. We'd be looking at $60-70 million quarterlies probably, and on top of the compounding of what we've already seen with new deals here. Now, that's me dreaming. But the similarities of Palantir, what we saw 2 years ago more, that's kind of what was happening. Palantir started to get these government contracts, and then some random contracts, with other companies, big contracts, little contracts, middle contracts. But we're seeing that too with Big Bear. We're starting to see signs with that. So, and this is the thing that, Palantir has talked about so much. Alex Karp talks about this all the time. He just talked about it yesterday, where Palantir themselves, when they started getting these big contracts, when they moved into these big companies that, mainstream companies that people didn't think they were going to get into, more and more of those companies started to reach out to Palantir. They went, well, this company's working with this company called Palantir. Oh, and they have these government contracts. There's no doubt in my mind that stocks, companies, people are creatures of habit. So with that, what do you think can happen with Big Bear here? Well, Big Bear's already got a lot of these government contracts, and other companies that are looking for what Big Bear serves for their bread and butter, they're going to go, well, this Big Bear companies over here, AI, they do this thing where we need, let's call them. So as simple and as stupid as that may sound, I mean, that's how business happens. Hey, I mow grass. Larry needs his grass mowed. Larry knows I mow grass. He's going to call me. Things like that. That's what Alex Karp has been talking about quite a bit there. So I would like to think that rivers will flow the same way, and we could see what happened with Palantir kind of happen with Big Bear. I don't think that's crazy to say. Is that crazy? I don't think that's crazy. Yeah, so that's my hope. That's my dream. That's my wild card. That's my lustful thought of 2025 here. That Big Bear will find itself in some kind of position. Listen, I'm not looking for Big Bear to go to 20, 30, 40 bucks this year. That's not what I'm looking for. What I'm looking for in 2025 with Big Bear, I'm looking to make a nice position in Big Bear, which I pretty much have. I think a lot of us have. But the main thing is that Big Bear can pay off debt. Big Bear continues to capture, at least monthly at this point, from what we're seeing, continues to get deals. Government contract deals are great. That we start to see an increase in, monthly quarterlies. 2024 was better. It was good. It wasn't great, but it was better. And that they can just end the year here with a simple stock price of $5 to $7, $8. I'd be happy as can be. Happy as can be. What I want to see from Big Bear this year is that the company can change what they're doing. It can prove to investors that, hey, you can trust where we're going. You can trust us. We are moving in a better financial, structurally better situation with our company, which is going to do better for investors. So, it's really like later on, year or two from now where I'm really looking at here with Big Bear. But this right here, this could be a fundamentally a different year for Big Bear. So, yeah, friends, that's kind of my thought. Hopefully that wasn't too much out there, but I'm excited. We should all be excited, okay? It's an amazing time to be a part of this market. Friends, I will be back tomorrow yapping my head off, and I just want to say thank you guys for a great week. I mean, completely 180 compared to Monday to Friday. I mean, we're talking just so different a week. It's crazy. Friends, take care of yourself, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.